this is enough. This is what you have said. These words are more than anything else. So I think Deepak ji has already shared that thing and how we have distributed our work and how we are doing. And I'm really satisfied after conducting this program. So स्वांता सुखाए की बात है इसमें जो बहुत अच्छे से हम लोग enjoy कर रहे हैं. Now I would like to invite Saloni to welcome Bhanu ji for the next session.
Sure. So after this insightful session, we have an eminent personality amongst here with us today. And it is an honor to introduce to you all Mr. Bhanu Prakash Reddy. Mr. Bhanu is the Vice President at the IIMBAA and the Partner and Director at Urban Kisan. Mr. Bhanu is an entrepreneur by heart, a great mentor to startups and angel investor. He has been the catalyst to promote entrepreneurship across the globe and is mentoring scores of startups through structure programs like TIGRAD, Lead at IIM Visakhapatnam, and conducting mentorships at NSRCEL at IIM Bangalore. There are half a dozen of startups where Mr. Bhanu has invested and helped at least a dozen of startups to survive and become net positive. He has earned a score of awards from corporate clients in his previous life as CEO and has achieved another score of awards from different government organizations. He is an industrial engineering graduate from Osmania University and is the first gold medalist passed out of MBA in technology management. His first business venture was Bartronics India Limited, the first barcoding coupled with RFID smart card company to go for IPO, both at NSE, BSE, eventually as at NASDAQ. Some of his successful startups are SendFast, Rice Bowl, Metamorphosis, Habit Automation, RDP, Jadoo Cinema, Matrix Seafood and VAM Life Sciences, Pay My GST, and Urban Kisan. So, sir, we are indeed blessed to have you amongst us with you today. We are eager to learn a lot from you. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sorel ma'am, and thank you, Dr. Nisha ma'am. This is something a great opportunity. More importantly, like I'm blessed today to have Professor Anil Gupta sir to be here with us. Of course, most of the eminents who are here with us today. It's a great learning, and I feel very proud about that. So just before to start, I have 4 stories to share with you. I mean, I was able to share with you like stories, how I have gone through those, my entrepreneurial journey, and how this social entrepreneurship has stuck to me in a couple of places, and how I continue doing it religiously. Of course, God is very kind, that's what I can say. More importantly, like, how you get self-motivated. Especially in social entrepreneurship is something that I've learned in my life, is where you should get self-motivated. That's the only way to that I have learned in my life, nothing else. There's nobody come by and say like, boss, to aapne Chenchu people you went and met him, it's a great job. Nobody will try to take a selfies with you there. So at least when you come back and meet them there, it is something that you learn, unlearn, and come back is what I have learned in my life. So there's one of those famous proverb by the Bill Drayton, who actually talked about the social entrepreneurship. Many people know. It's very important that I still keep remembering this. Social entrepreneurs are not content just to give a fish or teach how to fish. They will not rest until they have revolutionized the fishing industry. So this is what exactly I have learned, and I've gone through that, and it's a practical example what Bill Drayton was talking about on social entrepreneurship. So my first journey went around the place. What one immediate startup that I talk about is Urban Kisan. So when I talk about entrepreneurship journey, who is the greatest entrepreneur? There was a question always posed to me. Who takes, we all know entrepreneurship, I don't want to get into that who takes risks and who takes a lot of things and is not sure about everything. So when I have, in one of the sessions like this, when I was going through that, the on the entrepreneur is a farmer, which is not clear. He's not clear about what is going to happen. When suddenly you see a lot of news in the newspaper, magazines, and everywhere, all of a sudden, he has harvested everything. Suddenly the rain comes, destroys the entire thing. He's not sure about it. But still, not that he leaves entrepreneurship and goes, converts that into a real estate. He still goes back and fights back again, puts across the place. So there is a constant work that has been done and expecting that something will happen. And he keeps on doing it. That's an entrepreneur that I have seen across. So this actually stuck to me where I was actually working on my entrepreneurial journey, as you all mentioned, the first barcoding company in India. So I always had an eager niche to do something different where nobody has been touched, Professor Anil Gupta sir was talking about it. Find out something new. That's time when we found out something, a barcode. I found that a barcode industry has to be evolved. That's where exactly in 1997 the first company called Bartronics we started, and emerged as one of the biggest company, which eventually went into 2005 as a public issue company. But a lot of work went into this entire ecosystem that we have built. So we have learned a lot of things. We went to a lot of places where the barcode industry is very important. A lot of people know that there's a small barcode which doesn't do anything. Today, without barcode, without scanning, nothing happens. So we all evolved into the real retail industry, to manufacturing sector, to many places, including the attendance, time attendance, reading about these QR codes that you have seen it. We've done a lot of work in each industry very specifically. So while doing this, one day I went for after public issue. I'll go talk by the recent one. I've been to Middle East, to Abu Dhabi, and so I was coming back to Dubai, and this is 5 years back a story. I went to buy, I was so much of, last 3 months that I was staying in the Middle East eating those biryanis and this heavy food from those restaurants. I thought I had my own, apartment room in Dubai. And I thought I will let me, make some dal and eat. So I called up my mother and said, let's make some dal, how to make it. I was trying to find out, and, my friends. So we put some rice and put that. So I thought, I'll make palak rice. So I went to the supermarket nearby and found out that palak. So the palak guy, there was a nice, beautiful leaf that I saw. The palak, I'm trying to express to all of you. The leaf is so beautiful, and the palak that you see outside, the palak which I picked up, was so nice. So this was 1.3 dirhams, and that was other was very less than a dirham actually. So I thought, I never knew it. I thought these guys might have mixed it somewhere in the keeping in the counters. So I took both the things, palak, and I went along with the another one left over, and the beautiful leafy vegetable I took to the counter. I was watching how he's going to bill across. So when he crossed it, the moment it came as the one came as less than a dirham, the other came as 1.3 dirham. I asked him, why is it so costly? It's the same thing, palak. I think you missed out. He said, no, it is hydroponics. Trust me, in 4 years, 5 years back, I never knew a word called hydroponics. Though I've been in Israel, been learning, understand technology. So what was hydroponics? I didn't understand. So I said, I don't know. Can you explain what is hydroponics? Unfortunately, that boy didn't know, and he said that the counter, you go and check. So I went and checked. I took a photograph and came back, Google searched. Of course, I made the dal. That's a different story. Beautiful dal. I can still make dal to many people, whoever you wanted. So I came on and I said, let me do a search. So then I realized this was, dal was with the hydroponics, soilless farming we can prepare. This changed the entire mindset for me. And by the time, I was always thinking about a farmer. So I thought many people have so much of terrace, which is the biggest challenge that even my building terrace that I've got, our house terrace, we always tries to put plants, we try it out, there's a lot of birds, they spoil it, many things. So I thought, why don't we experiment differently with hydroponics? So I bought a small kit and started experimenting it. So what I started doing is, the technology was available. I started doing the re-engineering of the technology and changed the entire kit for the grow your own food. I wanted to get that concept. I said everybody should be able to grow their own food, their own veranda, own balconies, or on their terrace gardens, where they can, 4 people in a family, if I have a 48 plant, they can start growing it. So I experimented myself. It became a successful story. So I come from a technology background. I thought I should add some uh, a tech into that. So that's exactly where people all get very much interested. So I thought I added agri tech के लिए थोड़ा tech add करेंगे. तो मैं tech add किया. I added something called IoT device. When the nutrition goes into the water, there's a soilless farming. I think you can all Google search what is hydroponics. So I just made small experiment with putting a small device where when the nutrition is over, it will tell me the date and time when I add nutrition when the plant is picking up. That became a super duper hit, and that successful story happened. And then I started selling kits. I started spreading across the world. Then the name was a challenge. What name to? So I put a name called Urban Kisan. तो किसान बनाने वाले हैं तो अर्बन में भी लोग मालूम पड़ना कि they should know the meaning of kisan word. So every household should know kisan, the value of a farmer. That's what the urban kisan name has got formed there. And we had another founder member. We found the company, the young guy, we founding member there. Then we started building up the entire story, because I knew how startups can start up from the problems and everything. So we were fortunate enough to bring in some scientists to bring in more changes. We bought in, you'll not believe it. So we want to bring in today, every time when you talk at outside, everybody talks about artificial intelligence, AI and ML, anything in life. In fact, very soon our marriages will become artificial intelligence and AI. That's what I start feeling it across, because you all know what your husband is doing it, what your wife is doing it. If she's angry, an AI engine will tell you in an app, probably your wife is angry, be careful. It may tell you across you also very soon. So this can be developed, it can happen all the way with the voice command and everything. So we started developing the entire technology built over the place. And 4 years back, the story was built in Urban Kisan. And we have made a very small story, like how very important story that I heard is 2050, 2050, 2050. We are 2020 today, 2021. And 2050, we have to produce 70% more food in India, across the globe. That's a survey that shows across. The United Nations has given a survey, 70% we have to grow food. And there'll be 2 wars. We will not fight for a country or somebody. There'll be 2 wars is going to happen, which is predicted, one for food and one for water. So why don't we be ready? This actually instigated, and I thought I will have to create this story about the urban Kisan farming. That's how the entire ecosystem I started building up. I went to Agriculture University. I went around NARM. I went and found out where are the possibilities. I was amazed to know that so much of funds available with the government, where the subsidies were given to the people who will come forward to do such innovative ideas. So this exactly prompted us to go back more, and we started building up these total kits of Urban Kisan, where you can grow your own hydroponics kits into the balconies and farms. And today, I stand in front of you people. We have sold nearly 10,000 balcony kits to people last 4 years, and we started building up the local farms, B2B and B2C. And we also have a lot of people who are coming forward. This is where we have done a revolutionized in agri-tech. I was completely into IT technology. I was completely into all my startups that I've invested money. I never gone into agri-technology because people all think about there is no big money. Trust me, guys, if you all go back and check Udan, they got $800 million as a funding. No other IT company has got it actually. It's just an aggregator platform tool where he segregates, he gets the vegetables from the place, from farmers and communities to the people. This is one area which people, and the whole people community has forgot. There's something that, a farming community, the eating, which is very much vital. We can't live without eating food actually. So this is actually instigated to us. And today, I'm very proud to share with you. We are being got selected by, then I went to all the places. I went around all the competitions. We went around all the places. I took the CEO. I put a founding member. We went around all the places, and we gone to accelerator program. We got Y Combinator. We got funding there, and there was no looking back. And today we sit nearly the company evaluated up 200 crores turnover, which I have not able to do last 18 years into my IT companies. I never even thought about it. Even my public issue company, it took 18 long years to go for my public when I started my career as a thin company. So this is very important that I've learned from this entire ecosystem that we have built. And I would suggest, the respect towards farmer, what Professor Anil Gupta was talking about it, which are been not touched, those areas. We all come back and we all get excited looking at technology and other products. Like agri is something that's not been built. And fortunate today, after so much of noise that we have built up, we also got a lot of movie actors coming and joining our company. I don't know how many people have known Samantha from Telugu actress. Nagarjuna hero is daughter-in-law. She joined as a partner in the company, and they also invested money. And there's no looking back. People are coming back to invest money to agri-tech division. So this is another good area that we felt that we have made a revolutionized in the entire ecosystem that we have built. So this is something that I have done on re-engineering. So what I'm talking about is what Sir was talking about. You can think about a journey of entrepreneur, which is not there. So if you don't have an idea, whatever they have built it, you can start re-engineering it and start using it. That's where exactly all of you can think about it is what I can share you. And the second part this is one story about hydroponics, my journey, about other investments that we have done. The second part is I know how many people know about the Padman, the real Padman, Arunachalam Muruganathan. I'm sure a lot of social entrepreneurs who are sitting here, and is a good old friend of mine last 15 years. And I saw him struggling at Coimbatore area. As a good friend of him, the first meeting that I made him to bring him on a global platform, I was the president of the alumni of IIM Bangalore. So I brought him to Singapore, and President Lee, we bought in front of him, and we told how this, he was actually at the time I met him in one of the discussions. I saw him in IIT Chennai, where he have demonstrated about the low cost napkin manufacturing system that he wanted to create. So he said creating a word, I'll create 1 million women entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs, as an entrepreneurs, I only think about myself. That is the time that I learned to create entrepreneurs. Is something that is what we should all think about it. How do you create entrepreneurs? So he used that word, and saying that I want to create 1 million women entrepreneurs who can be self-sustainable, can do it. That's a great thing story that I've been along with him. I'm today with Dr. Nisha ma'am, with her. I spoke to her. I'm going to do my research along with him, along with another colleague whom she has recommended me. So that's another great thing, part of our story. So if you go back to his story, how he has built his low-cost napkin, and how he has gone to different countries, how he has expanded. See, that's what I heard today. G2G, grassroots to global, is is a very important thing that we have learned, all of you today. We have to do. There's no question asked. When somebody started my first company, Bartronics, everybody laughed at me. This guy is mad, selling lines. Barcode line बेच के क्या करेगा? When I made a public issue company, I made a turnover of about 280 crores turnover in my company. So with the barcode lines, I made that business. So there's a business opportunity. If you all can think about it, now Mr. Arunachalam Muruganathan, who's also Padma Shri awardee, he's been now looking at how to make this a successful model. He needs people like us. I would love if you can give your names who are interested to work along with me. I would be glad and love to take this my work a little forward. How he has built that story, more that you can learn from Mr. Sri Arunachalam Muruganathan. And I would like to proudly to say that I've been with him. Even now, my travel goes along with him. So across the globe that we have been there, and we have done a good job. So this is the second part. The third part, coming back to my social entrepreneurship, how it has developed. So as a president of the IIMBAA alumni, we had a lot of chapters across the place. We had 28,000 IIM Bangalore candidates across the place, and so I thought, how do we utilize them? How do we do it across? So one day, I've been one of the Rotary member. So they said there are a lot of tables that collecting and they're giving to the schools. So I've been very active part, and I saw them how diligently, how great work they have done. Rotary, they have gone to each school. They have no how many tables, chairs to be given, and suddenly I saw people working on, constructing bathrooms. We had a mobile application developed in my software company that I own, where government has. I realized that one day government gave an application to us to develop. And there are 32,000 schools in Telangana, government schools. I never knew. There were 32,000 government schools actually. So there is something for women, girls के लिए bathroom construct करने का है. So 10,000 रुपए they'll give to them. For 15,000 rupees, 18,000 rupees they've increased. So there no bathrooms got constructed, and a lot of people to eat away money and everything. So government said, what is the process that you're checking with the bathroom is constructed? So they gave a challenge to us. They called us because I was one of the committee member in the association, and we developed a mobile application, very unique application. We said, "A jo contractor jo paise dete hai, so you go back and tell them the first amount you released to him, he has to show the place and he has to thod code karke kuch kaam banana. So release him the first amount, 6,000 rupees to him. So the first amount released to him when he brings construction, he brings the table, everything. The amount is released to him. Second amount is constructed when he puts everything, the water tank, the commode and everything he puts across, water tank, everything to you. Second amount and is given to him. And third amount is given to him when he shows in the mobile application, everything is done. So this mobile application takes a long and lat. He cannot go and show some other bathroom at his house. He has to show the long and lat which is there at the school where we had the GPS locations. A simple mobile application has created a revolution in the technology front area, and the government could able to do it. And across the globe, across India, everybody started using it. We have implemented in 2 million schools, and Google suddenly came back and said, how many people have been, they're watching this, the Google Maps and trying to set across. So the entire platform we created. So tech can always be enabled. It can be useful in any such programs that you do, any social enterprise. So in this area, we went to one school and we inquired while doing this program. I went to a school. I said, I've not seen any students there. I said, why are the students not here? So they said, sir, students will come in the afternoon because lunch is provided in the afternoon. So morning people don't come. Parents don't send them because उन लोग खाना नहीं मिलता है. तो दोपहर को खाने के लिए आते हैं. तो 2 घंटे हम लोग वही टाइम पे उन लोग पकड़ते, पढ़ाते, बेचते. This actually triggered me. I said, why they are not coming? They said, breakfast is not there. And then I got an idea from Rotary, and I bought all my, see, this is exactly where the collaborative works comes into picture. I brought all my colleagues together. I brought them on the table. I said, like, look, we have all monthly parties in IIMBAA alumni. Baat karte hai, daru peete hai, we drink and we eat and everything. We go there. I said, slowly I gave an idea. Was aaj ek kaam karne ke my 3 lakhs rupees from my company I'm going to give. I gave an idea that if anybody got a birthday, see, if you go and bid in social entrepreneurship that I've seen, go and ask money. I'm not talking about CSR activity. I'm talking about when you go an individual, you ask him. People, you have to have a story. You have to have the connecting story. So, being the sales, I have been blessed to have a storytelling capabilities. So I went on the place and said, look, if you have a birthday about your father, and the sentimental थोड़ा मैंने बता दिया, तो मैं आपका बेटी का बर्थडे है, बेटा का बर्थडे है, और your father बर्थडे है, grandfather बर्थडे है, कुछ भी रहने दो भाई, मेरे को मेरा टिकट साइज बोला 1,000 रुपए से 5,000 तक, 10,000 तक. Now the size goes across. So I said, if this is given, that day morning breakfast is served, and we will show that video, and you will put your name there on the banner, and we'll say about this is today aaj wo mila. So this I've seen in temples. So I thought I'll use the same technique here. Most of the people, educated guys, no, we don't require anybody name. We just want to see that the kids have eaten. I said, okay, no problem. But anyway, I said, so naam to dena hai, so people have to feel happy. So I said, the banner to compulsory rehta, wo banner every day, a table banner will be there. We'll write your name there. So that will at least, Annadatta Sukhi Baba. That I've seen in while, Ayyappa Swami, when people go there, when they eat food actually. So they all say, while complete eating the food, they say one prayer. Annadatta Sukhi Baba. That means somebody has served you food. So I said, this is something that I can use it. And I took the technique and I went to the schools and I started triggering it across. You will not believe that meeting, apart from my 3 lakhs, I collected 7.8 lakhs. It's just a half an hour meeting. So I realized that how ability, the way you explain to them and make it reality. The very next day, I put my team, I put my office boys and everybody in the company, and I went back to the schools and we said, let's come back. So I identified schools. I went and found out which are the schools. If I go back and find out schools which are there at Sangareddy, which is very far away, 100, 200 kilometers, people will not show interest. So I found out where are the government schools nearby. Let me serve that and see across. So I found something within 30 kilometers residential area. found out those government schools, went to them, spoke to them, and we identified 32 schools. And we were able to bring, it took some time, within, because of our capability, our talking to the people, we said, your fund will not come. We ensure that students, बच्चों को पकड़ के morning breakfast we given. So the challenges came, you don't have a plate, you have a glass. So we bought a plate and glass. Next day morning, parents na plate glass को बच्चों को दे दिए, बेच दे दिया outside. So plates, glass are not there. So we identified, to get other different plates which are there, edible plates which we bought it from the place, by the leafy vegetables plates. We bought it ready-made wala. We started bringing it, and we started doing this work religiously. Trust me, my friends, everybody who are here listening to this conversation, we are so much happy that surplus funds, many CSR organizations and companies came forward, said, boss, we would like to give to this work. This was something new that they need to realize that we made it across the story. So for everything, we need to create a story. We need to create an ecosystem that you build up, and there should be a reasonable thought for this. So this is exactly, we made a successful story. From 32 schools, we have done it from past almost 6 years. And today we have come to 19 schools. I still wanted to continue it, and this is a drive done by certain people there. While doing this drive, we also understood that the wives of alumni, the children, they said they will also go and teach for a change. We bought a small concept, so they go and teach English or something, and whatever books they have got, whatever gifts they've got, getting some cakes to them. This all small things will change the entire ecosystem. That sir was talking about happiness. How do you get that happiness? We said, you get that cake to one birthday, and everybody very happy when you get a cake to cut to their birthday. A small birthday party we made across. So small things that has been changed, and the cause is bringing them to school in the morning. That is my motto. That is my motto. The entire my vision and mission was there. We will successfully have done it. This is my second. So the last one that I wanted to share along with you, I been to one of the school that I saw, we had one project for Naval Academy. So I had some mathematics books to be supplied along with the journey. So it's very typical project that we have done. So we bought some books, and we had some 48,000 mathematics books came to us, which were different author, but didn't accept it, but they were living in my godown. So my daughter, one day she came to school, to my office, and she saw some books they're spoiled with the water and everything. So she said, Papa, ye books kya hai? I said, she was 9th class and she saw the books. She said, she saw the mathematics books and said, these books are there. So we wanted to throw it, or I'm not able to throw it. He said, in my school, they go back and give these books to people who are needy, who need it across. I said, my God, this isn't stuck to us. And she said, while coming back, there is one engineering college. She said, there's one girls engineering college to a place, Narayanamala Engineering College. Why don't we go and talk to that people? She just gave an idea. She said, I'm at the office. And I said, yes. I took some 20 books along with my daughter, and I went to the place. Sir, this is very useful to our engineering students. Please give to us how many books we have got. He said, how many books you require? She says, I want 1,500 books, sir. So we got so many books there. So I went to all the schools. So this is triggered me. Why don't we do something that the students can become the best ambassadors? I do not know. I have done a program called TYE, the Young Entrepreneurs Program. Trust me, all of you people are trying to talk about an entrepreneurial, if you give a competition from 9th class to 12th class, or engineering graduates to anybody who would, wanted to have a startup, I can challenge you. You cannot challenge who have done a project from 9th to 12th, because what I understood is there is no something called fear of failure, which is not there in their mindset. The fear of failure is there with us. मैं शुरू करता हूँ तो my job निकल गया, पैसे निकल गया. So most of entrepreneurs which are go back and study and look at their in the judgment table when I'm sitting there, they're not clear. They're not, very few that I see the projects come with a passion. But these students community, when they come and talk, they don't find anything losing. So they come and talk just like that. So I see that very encouraging thing that we all have to learn from the young guns, that fear of failure has to be moved out to become an entrepreneur. Nothing kya hota hai? He'll come back. If I don't come back, I'll come to Dr. Nisha, ma'am, I'll come and work along with you. Definitely, I'll get some job. So I need to have that passion. I need to have those things, triggering passion things, which to become an entrepreneur. So she gave an idea when I took my mother to a diabetic doctor. He said, boss, ये बच्चों लोग ना, they don't bother about आजकल नया school जो आया है, they don't bother about their parents. Like example, somebody is coming working so hard in the school or college or tuition or working company. There's somebody, father is tired from the office. So have you observed your father is tired? When you become a graduate, do you want your father to be there standing in front of you cheering you, or you will see only your mother or any one of you? So you are not worried about your parents. So these students can become ambassadors and start creating that interest. And which he doctor said, मेरे बच्चों लोगों को मैं इतना बोलता हूँ सुनते नहीं, but college school जो बोलता है वो सुनते. So what they do is when they come back and say, you switch off your lights, they don't listen. But school when somebody tells you, you switch off all the lights and where you're sitting, you put a light there. They started to do it very religiously. So something is done in teaching in the school. They do it very, very religiously because teachers who put there, who sunte. So we started creating this is my new project called Student Ambassadors. So we are now coming back and saying class 9th to class 12th. We said we'll create ambassadors within family. So पहला बोलते हैं ना, ये जो कुछ करने का है, don't do it. घर पहला आपका घर का साफ कर, बाद में nation साफ कर. So we wanted to create that thing actually. This has become one of the very most important thing, and we identified from the alumni side some people who are very interested. They came back to us and said, let's work along with you. So this is another big project that I'm working on right now. I need help from you people, and this can be globalized across the place, all the schools, where that will also, the students, when they become ambassadors, they'll also become responsible. They'll start learning the value of parents, what they're doing it. Today, the class 3rd or 4th students, at the age till the age of 5, I believe the study shows those kids can remember 5 trillion items they can recognize. So this is the age for us. So do not worry about it. So we started working on this particular project. This is a great story that we have created, and this is how the entire learning happened. So this is a couple of things that happen in our things. Our journey is going around, and we're doing this, especially one part of the social entrepreneurship. Morning breakfast became a very successful story. I really wanted to continue. I wanted to get more ideas from people like you. This is exactly what I wanted to share along with you. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Nisha ma'am. And anything that I wanted to share, wanted to come along with you, you're most welcome to ask.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bhanu sir. We thanks. We will not take question anymore now because we are running just 15 minutes late.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem. But we will not take any question now. So I really thank you, Bhanu sir, for taking and accepting our request and sharing this broad aspect of whatever you're working, and you've given us new ideas to all the participants and to me also. And maybe we will be associating with you for as we have discussed, we can do lots together. So
absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Ma'am. That's really great,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks. So,
if anything is there, you can send an email to us. You can share my email to people.
Yeah, we will do that. Certainly, the idea of this breakfast was very, interesting, and anything I think everyone can contribute in this kind of idea for
absolutely.
Breakfast, of course, to join the student on time, absolutely. Not only for the lunch.
Yes,
that's great. So I extend my thanks to you. I invite now again Saloni to invite our guest, Professor Bakshi.
Yes.
So, thank you so much, ma'am. Once again, bye-bye.
Thanks, sir.
It is indeed a privilege to have a great personality with us here today, Professor C.V. Bakshi. Professor Bakshi is the ex-director of MDI Gurgaon and is a renowned professor of business ethics and corporate strategy with over 35 years of experience in academics. He has delivered lectures on corporate governance in reputed institutes of India as well as across the globe. We have already gained some great insights from Professor Bakshi in the past days of the FDP and are eager to hear again from him and gain some deeper insights from him. for the further direction. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And at the outset, I want to greet Professor Satish Mode, Director of the Institute, and Nisha Pandey for this FDP initiative, because faculty development, even at my own institution, MDI, has not been given that much of importance, unfortunately. I conceptualize the role of a faculty member in the following manner. If we want to be socially relevant, because today the crisis for government, NGO, for public trust, for management colleges is how to be socially relevant. This is the problem. Now, if you want to do this, there are two roles that a faculty member is expected to perform. One is production of knowledge. Other is dissemination of knowledge. What happens in reality, unfortunately, is that we tend to disseminate without production. And that causes distortion in the knowledge market. In a subject like social enterprise, social entrepreneurship, and related subjects, we have a moral, ethical, and intellectual responsibility to produce knowledge, not just disseminate what somebody has done. This is one message that I have been giving to my faculty colleagues, not only MDI, but IIMs or new IIMs where I have been associated, or anywhere in other institutions, that a faculty has to formulate key questions of research. And unfortunately, research cannot be done with 9 to 5. Most faculty members have that routine of attending the institutions, doing a job. You're not doing a job. If you're doing a job, then you set up a pan ki dukaan kholiya. Carpentry कीजिए. Why are you in academic field? आपका role यही है, you have to read and you have to write. Whatever qualification UGC, AICTE give, it is all for entry-level qualification. My understanding of a faculty's qualification is only two. One is reading, one is writing. If a faculty is not doing all this, then she or he has no business to be in that institution. I may be sounding very harsh, but I've been saying this for the last 2 decades, so I cannot help it. And last thing that I would like to share with you is that this type of program, this intervention like faculty development or collaborative research, these things will help us because this is a gray area. People are groping in the dark. And if you don't want to add further to the darkness, then I think we need to really take that responsibility and first start doing ourselves. Like asking students to do some project is a PGPM kind of routine, which I don't think is good. You do it yourself, and then actually seek collaboration from like-minded people, who are very few in this country or abroad. So I think we need to look at this knowledge production and knowledge dissemination. But these are two areas, very strategic areas. These are not routine areas. You can't do it in 9 to 5. This is a problem. It's a very serious crisis in established academic institutions or near academic institutions or so-called top 10 schools. They are groping in the dark because this 9 to 5 is the agenda. 9 to 5 agenda doesn't help. So Nisha, thank you very much. This was a very good effort, and I think more collaboration from the participating institutions and some writing work together, publications, will help in clarifying, because each case study you write or each chapter in a book that we write, it serves to clarify what we are doing. Unless we achieve that clarity, we are not communicating. So I think this communication clarity becomes a matter of practice. The more you write, I know people will not read, because in this country only Supreme Court and High Court judges are reading. Nobody else reads. Nobody else reads because they have to deliver judgments running into thousands of pages. Nobody reads. I was reading a court judgment of Vedanta Copper, Madras, which Madras High Court has ordered closer because environmental. That order runs into 900 pages. A two-bench Madras High Court bench of Madurai district, because it was lockdown phase 3, they could not have physical. So they dictated that 900-page order on telephone. My hats off to the stenographers. I mean, apart from judges, they're intellectually very powerful people. Why can't we faculty learn to write like that? I end with this one secret. Most of the faculty members may please note. If you ever want to write a case study, what is the we look to annual reports and Google and internet, but no. I look at the High Court and Supreme Court judgment, because most of the companies have had a lot of problems of environment or ethics or corruption. So there are invariably court cases. You should write a good case, because companies have to legally bound to give authentic data. And so I did a case study on environmental ethics. I read the judgment of Madurai bench of Madras High Court, 815 pages. And all the authentic record of the last 20 years is there. I don't have to do any other search. Then that is what I'm saying, that you need to have a fresh approach to writing case studies or getting your data or getting the facts right. Then the challenge will come for interpreting. We are not legal experts, but at least you got the basic framework in a judgment. And that's why I said that why only High Court judges. We all have that same responsibility, whether you are a faculty member in one institution, reputed or not so reputed, doesn't matter. We need to concentrate on this. So with these few words, thank you very much, all of you, and look forward to working with you in future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful insights. We would now like to hear from the participants in the form of feedback of the 5-day FDP, for which I call upon a fellow participant, Kausambi Chaudhary ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to share your feedback with all of us?
Yes, definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much for providing me this opportunity. I hope that I'm audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Am I audible, ma'am? Hello, everybody. A very good evening to all of you. This is really a pleasure for me to be a part of this wonderful experience, a wonderful FDP. Only one thing I will, as we are running out of time, so I'll keep that in mind also. Wonderful FDP I just stated, because from this particular FDP I actually felt that there is something developed in me as a human being, as a not only faculty development, as a human development also, rather I should say. Okay, because as Professor Anil Gupta sir has also told that global, we should not be global consumers of knowledge. We should not preserve the knowledge within ourselves. We should actually celebrate it. We should actually give away it, or we should be the global suppliers of knowledge also. So it's a great honor for me and great privilege for me to be a part of this FDP. I learned lot of many things which I used previously. I did not knew, and I just want to thank everybody, Nisha ma'am, Nisha ma'am, I just want to thank you for everything, for providing this particular program. And every time, every support that I got from you all, and specifically Nisha ma'am also, and Pranjal sir also, and Rasika ma'am also, and everybody, my fellow mates, my peer members over here. So I think that I am of the lot of, the younger most over here. So um, it was a great pleasure, great pleasure. Really thank you to AICTE Atal, to VESIM Mumbai, and of course Research for of Resurgence Foundation. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now love to call upon Deepak Chauhan, sir. Sir, would you like to share your feedback?
Good evening, everyone. It has been great 5-day program session. Each session has been wonderfully planned. Lot of planning and has gone into, like, lot of detailed planning has gone into organizing this FDP, and it has been a collaborative effort, as we have been talking about right through this collaborative research. It has been a collaborated effort and shared leadership, whereby every person in the team from VISM, they have done wonderful job. Satish sir, all the senior management of VISM, they have a wonderful team, dedicated team, and I like, I have an exposure to interact with a similar kind of dedicated team at TISS, and I can say कि VISM team is at par with the best institutions that I have seen across the country. I have attended few international conferences, a lot of MDPs, and but this FDP has been very well organized. In fact, a lot of AICTE should always look to have these kind of quality FDPs under the Atal program. Only concern was, since it's a Corona period, it's on the online mode. FDP ideally should be on offline mode, so that we can have more interaction among the participants. A lot of we somehow missed out on knowing each other. All of them, only the active participants have, we came to know more about them. But it has been a great learning experience. Every session, every speaker has added lot of social value. So this is a real social venture as such, this FDP. Since we are talking about social enterprise, this itself is in a social venture. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. I would now like to call upon Uma Raman ma'am. Ma'am, would you like to share your feedback?
Saloni, maybe she is not there.
Okay.
You can invite someone else.
Yes, ma'am.
Preeta is there. Preeta madam is there. Yeah, you can invite Preeta madam.
Yes, Preeta madam, would you please like to share your feedback with all of us?
Thank you. Good evening to all. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to give feedback during the valedictory session of this FDP on social business management. I'll quickly give feedback on the content, the mode of delivery, and the assessment methods. Speaking about the content, needless to say that every session was packed with valuable inputs. I'm going to highlight on the sessions from which I learned a lot. This FDP served as a wonderful platform for interacting with the Nobel laureate Professor Yunus during the inauguration. He termed the unorganized sector as abundant sector, which exhibited his real concern and passion towards contributing to the development of this sector. And few of the sessions, particularly day one, we had Professor Madhukar Shukla from XLRI on taxonomy of social entrepreneurship. I was able to differentiate between what is and what is not social entrepreneurship really after his session. He classified social entrepreneurship into 5 categories, and the best part is he gave examples for all those categories, and that was really helpful helpful. And then we had our Professor Bakshi's session in the forenoon of day 2. The essence of his rich experience was shared with the participants, and the example of engineer's tea stall he gave is, I think many of us do not know that. And we had Nisha ma'am's session on social innovation, which gave an entirely different perspective to approach social entrepreneurship. And day 3, one of the best sessions we had from Archana ma'am from TIS. She talked about the concepts and theories in social entrepreneurship. Anybody who is starting to do research in social entrepreneurship, this session seems to be very, very valuable. And the content of all the other sessions, like methodology to assess the social return on investment by Dr. Sahu, and then business plan writing, where we were divided into groups into the breakout rooms, and we were asked to do a presentation in the breakout room. And then the case of Jagriti Yatra, which we did. All these were very interesting. And Professor Ashish Pandey's session on research in social entrepreneurship. This is another session. I can recall one by one, because that much I got ingrained into all these sessions. It was like Sir's Pandey's session was like a guide for those who want to do research. And then regarding the mode of delivery and the technical details, they were very well taken care of by the excellent coordination of the entire team of VES. I would say that there were people who are not exposed to Google Classroom, people who have little knowledge, and people who are fully comfortable. They cater to each one of the participants in a very nice way. And the last one is on the assessments. Nisha ma'am, I should really thank you for keeping us engaged. She didn't leave even a single stone unturned. She gave very interesting assignments, and particularly changing the DP with our photographs. Really, I will pass this to my students. And every effort she has done to engage us was really, it has gone into us. So I congratulate and thank the entire team, and in particular Nisha ma'am, for benchmarking the whole program as one of the best in terms of quality. Thank you, one and all. Finally, the happiness we have derived from doing this activity is very profound. I thank you. I thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. I'm sure they're going to serve as a source of encouragement for our further ventures. I now take this opportunity to invite Dr. Nisha Pandey, who is the program director and has enriched our knowledge by pooling together resource persons who had expertise or who hold expertise in the area of social entrepreneurship management. Dr. Nisha is an associate professor and chairperson of the Social Entrepreneurship Cell at Vivekanand Education Society's Institute of Management, Mumbai. She is extensively involved in various social entrepreneurship programs. We have already gained some wonderful insights from her session in the past days of the FDP, and we are indeed indebted to you, ma'am, for helping us to explore the realm of social entrepreneurship. I now invite you to present the report of FDP and address all of us. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Saloni. I think report, Pritha has presented very good report, and she has done my job. So thank you, Pritha ma'am, that you have done my job about summarizing what we have done in last 5 days. So this FDP was 5 days. So you can look at what we have done in these last 5 days. But you know, the effort or the conceptualization and the designing of this program has not taken 5 days. We have worked since last, I think, 6 months, from starting from proposal writing. And so after proposal writing, yes, I was working and I was just doing some research work. And meanwhile, I'm just guiding few research scholars who are working in the area of community-based enterprise, community-based development. So I had intensive research work. I read a lot during this period, community-based research, entrepreneurship, and social innovation. And Meanwhile, I also attended many programs in this lockdown. So in this lockdown, I really utilized the time in completing my one book on social enterprise, and my another book I worked my last project on women as a social entrepreneur, my funded project on given by ICSR. So when I got this information that me and Professor Satish Mol sir got one FDP funded by Atal. So that day, one of my colleagues, he told me that, Madam, I have given time to AICTE 19th of January, and that day just 1 month before. So I told, okay, ठीक है, अगर आपने time अपने हिसाब से दे दिया तो ना, I will manage. So the day one, then I started talking, I started discussing, I started reading. And with all this thing, what I did behind, I used to talk a lot with Professor C.V. Bakshi. And for this all designing, I had a talk with many professors during my evening walk. So in this last lockdown period, when no one was really has opportunity to go out, but being at IIT campus, we used to walk. I used to walk a lot during this period, and every day, last 6 to 7 months, every day I used to talk to one or other professor regarding my work, regarding the social entrepreneurship. So Professor Bakshi, Professor Rajan Gupta, or sometimes Satish sir, or sometimes one of our other social entrepreneur, real social entrepreneur. If not anyone, then my video. So when I walk, I listen video, a lot of video related to social innovation, social enterprise, or not only in India, all over the world, whatever is doing, what is happening, I used to. So I bought few books, audio books, and I just, so this designing of this program, what I'm trying to share with you. So I designed this program. If you start to, for teaching or for research, I have taken each and every point in this 5 days. So you can develop a 2 years program, you can develop a 5-year research work, whatever you can develop, you will find in this 5 days. And that is, so I want to dedicate this effort to my Professor Bakshi, Professor Sahai, how I used to talk to them, how I should design the program. When I designed, then I used to talk to them. I designed like this thing. Then you used to say, no, Nisha, यहाँ पर ये होना चाहिए, यहाँ पर ऐसा होना चाहिए. So this is a very, very well thought of program, and with the very, these are the professors who had worked in their whole life, and they were guiding me, they were supporting me, so all these things. So this is my really thanks to all the professors who are, I'm really thankful, and I'm really very, very lucky to have all these with me. And of course, Professor Ashish Pandey, I used to talk day and night about all what we are doing. So this is the first blessing. And another is I am really thankful and blessed having Professor Pranjal with me in this program. Intellectually, they were supporting to conduct this program, but the pain of all this, technical things, which I am really not able to handle with. And he continuously, he is with me, he is supporting me, he's taken painful pain and everything. So without any complaint, he is supporting this program. And so he is my colleague. So thanks, Professor Pranjal, for making this program successful. And the third, but not the third, I'm not categorizing first or second or third, but of course this dream would not be the real dream if Professor or my director Satish Mol, he has not even given the seed of this thing, allowing everything, be it as a program, be it a conference, be it as a coursework, or be it as a workshop, whatever, just he is giving us freedom to do anything and some thought. And then we take it forward, and that's how what he did in the beginning when I was planning. So I am doing this thing, so he said, yes, go ahead, whatever, the way you want. So that confidence he has with all of us, with the team of VESIM. So these are the three prominent thing which I am talking about. But of course, from the back, Rasika is supporting. Other all the resources are I'm getting support from all of them. That's how it is possible. And of course, Atal AICTE has given us opportunity to take you together. Otherwise, it was difficult to take you all in this common forum. Reachability is one of the things. So Atal is sending all the information to all of you. That thing. So, so summarization, I think all of you have summarized, but day one was very, very, not only informative, it was the day when we was exposed to listen the Nobel laureate, Professor Sahai, and our Mukul Kanetkar ji, who is working for the Desh Seva. He's serving to our country, and that's motivation we got. And the second day, we just went deeper to the concept of either SORI or the strategy, scaling, and policy, so that we gradually entered into the deep aspect of this subject. The third day, we talked about research area. We talked about how to make this body of knowledge. So that's the third day. Fourth day, we talk about more practical, how to plan this business plan of social business, and the funding aspect, where Mr. Suresh Krishna has talked about the funding aspect of this thing. And the last day, what we had discussed is a mind blowing. It's really the experiential learning of mindset and the yoga, and then consciousness from Anil Maheshwari ji. And then we have involve you in the presentation. We have so many things we have to deal with. So you have presented what you have learned last 4 days. So I think something we have planted to how to do research. And then I cannot express about the Anil Maheshwari ji. He is my ideal. It's beyond the lecture. It was beyond something, some spirituality with the action. It's not only spirituality, do some yoga practices, do something. जो कर्म की बात करते हैं ना, कि हमने जो कर्म की बात की, कर्म से अपने काम को प्रूव करना, वो बात जो उन्होंने की, एक जो हम बात करते हैं, किसी साधु की बात सुनते हैं, so beyond that, so I'm really touched. जो हमारे अनिल सर ने बात की, और फिर भानु जी ने बात की. So I think I am overwhelmed with this experience. I am overwhelmed with your feedback. So that is all from my side. I hope that we have tried to deliver or to disseminate knowledge with all of you, and I hope we will be connected in future. And I hope that we will create some change. We can create some forum, some group with this active group. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Satish sir, for giving us opportunity. Thanks to Atal, AICTE, and everyone for being with me in last 5 days. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. We are indeed indebted to you for all the efforts taken. I now take this opportunity to call upon Dr. Pranjal Mole, who has been a rock-solid support dealing with all the technical aspects of this FDP across the span of 5 days. Professor Pranjal Mole is a Systems and Information Technology professor with more than 15 years of experience. Professor Pranjal has worked with various B schools and has also been a visiting faculty to many management institutes. He is currently working as area chairperson in IT domain of Vivekanand Institute of Management Studies and Research. I'll now invite you, sir, to take this session further.
Thank you, Saloni. In bare minimum words, I would like to say it's one of the most wonderful events which probably I have not seen in my so much career span. So thank you so much, Satish sir, Nisha ma'am, believing in me and giving me this opportunity. Thanks all participants for your warm support, broad understanding, and without any tantrums and whims. And third, which is not least, Ms. Rasika and all my volunteers who are continuously working. Saloni ma'am, you, then Ms. Kamble, then Vidya, Prathamesh, and all other volunteers which are continuously working backstage. They even sometimes they don't come in front, but they are working backstage and supporting this event. They've supported this event. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
It is an honor to invite Dr. Satish Moth, the Director of Vivekanand Education Society's Institute of Management. Dr. Satish Moth is one of India's leading researchers in the field of business ethics and strategy. He is particularly well known for his research on Indian value systems and its application to ethical management. While he has gained many awards and accolades for his contributions, he was named among 100 most influential directors in India at the World Education Congress 2016 held in Mumbai. We have indeed gained tremendous knowledge from the session conducted by him during this FDP and are grateful for the same. I now invite you, sir, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Saloni. This last 1.5 hours, which I joined again when Professor Anil Gupta was talking about his experiences at IIM Ahmedabad and Shodha Yatra. So in fact, all of us were on a Shodha Yatra of last 5 days. The Shodha is discovering ourselves and discovering about our society, our community. Because when we are talking about social businesses, we are talking about those people who are really dedicatedly working to alleviate poverty and solve some real problems through business ventures, which is a very, very difficult task. And as I said in the opening remark also, that our institute is trying very hard to make this social enterprise, social business as one of the key subjects in all management institutions. And it doesn't happen without content. So the real issue is developing content in this field. In last 5-6 years, by organizing several seminars and discussions and workshops, we have been able to develop some content which actually helped in developing this 5 days FDP. The next step would be, I think, is to develop this subject as a full-fledged course material, and we may write to AICTE to include this subject as a curriculum and as a syllabus in business management courses, because we have been teaching a lot of subjects like organization. I am not against those subjects, let me first say that, but we need to teach some subject which not only talk about theory, but they teach something which can work on the ground. In my view, the combination of 25% theory and 75% practice is the best thing, because until unless we develop skills which can feed people and feed yourself, just brainstorming and intellectual talk, intellectual kabaddi is of no use. So this particular subject is very, very relevant for our country, for our nation. And we can business management subject was developed in US to further the profit motive. This social business and social entrepreneurship in our country, we can develop as a subject which will not only take care of profit motive, but it will take care of society at large. So this is a very, very important endeavor which our institute has launched on. And I would like to thank Professor Nisha Pandey, who initially reluctantly, but then later on wholeheartedly developed this subject. Because in the beginning, it is just jumping in the swimming pool without knowing how to swim. But she had the courage to jump in the swimming pool, trusting that she will be saved. And of course, she is saved by the environment in which she is working. Our institution provides all the support to all kinds of new ventures. And of course, as she talked, she lives in IIT Bombay, which is the top university of the country. And वहाँ की हवा में भी इंटेलेक्चुअलिज्म होगा, तो यदि वहाँ पर किसी से बात भी नहीं कर रहे हैं तो हवा लेते लेते ही कुछ ना कुछ तो ज्ञान मिल ही जाता होगा. So I am sure that we will be able to develop this subject of social business or social entrepreneurship in a big way. Last year, when we thought of associating with Mohammad Yunus, I had read somewhere that he is doing excellent work, but he is not able to scale up his venture in other countries. Even in India, I discovered that he had only one center in Bangalore. So I talked to Professor Nisha Pandey and said that, okay, let us reach out to him and see whether, how we can associate with him. And he was very forthcoming, and we became associate of Yunus Business Social Center, and it has really developed in a very good alliance. I would say that without his name and his support, we won't be able to attract so many participants. So I would like to thank Prophet Muhammad Yunus and all the members who you see on the screen, and people who don't see on the screen, who have made this successful. And of course, the policies of central government, which is even in the time of Corona, has been such that the learning is taking place even when you are sitting at home. The technology is so powerful that if we use it correctly, it can help us even in this Corona time. So, of course, the best of the lot has been you, the learners. All of you know a lot of things. You are all achievers in your life, but still you thought that maybe by participating in this event, you will share your knowledge. You will enrich our own understanding of this subject. And as a process, you may have to go through some examination and other things, but I am sure that each one of you is equally learned, and you yourself can be a faculty for this subject. So I would like to thank all the participants for your enthusiastic participation in the whole process. So with these few words, I would say that let us make this subject one of the key prime subject. Let us write research papers, let us write books, let us write articles in newspapers, let us give talks on YouTube, and make this subject as one of the key subjects in management programs. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A big thank you to all the participants and the esteemed speakers who have made this FTP on social entrepreneurship management a great success. As quoted by Professor Mohammad Yunus, making money is happiness, and that is a great incentive. Making other people happy is super happiness. Thus, let us begin our journey towards attaining the super happiness. With this, we shall conclude the FTP. Thank you to one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.